We are rolling and streaming, coming up on 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, March 14th, 2023 meeting of the Ashland Zoning Board of Appeals. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast by WACA. The Town of Ashland, in a response to the COVID-19 pandemic, is currently following the guidance from the Ashland Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Health, and the CDC regarding the virus and steps communities can take to prevent the spread. And in accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, all public meetings are being conducted remotely. And to participate remotely, you can enter the Zoom ID and passcode listed on the agenda, or you may also call in on telephone, also from the number listed on the posted agenda. First order of business is to call the meeting to order and take a roll call. I, John DeFeatherman, present.
I, Brian Forrestone, present.
I, Nathan Bannon, present.
I, Stuart Siegel, am present.
I, Anton Komarov, am present.
Okay, and we are joined by our town planner, Peter Matchik. The second item on the agenda is a continued hearing, public hearing involving 59 West Union Street. And the Ashland Zoning Board of Appeals will reopen and continue the public hearing to hear the petition of Emery Bond and Brandon Bond, trustees of the Island Pond Trust, who have applied to the ZBA to appeal the building commissioner's determination under Ashland zoning bylaws, section 9.2.2.3, parenthesis Board of Appeals, close parenthesis, along with any other applicable sections of the Ashland zoning bylaws. The Building Commission's enforcement letter dated November 30th, 2022 states the recent expansion of the pre-existing non-conforming use is in violation of the Ashland bylaws. The property in question is located at 59 West Union Street, Assessors Map 19, Lot 63, in the Highway Commerce Zoning District, and parties wishing to be heard on this matter should appear at the time and place indicated above. I understand from Peter that we received an email from the applicant's attorney this afternoon, and Peter is going to share that on the screen, and I will read it for the record. The email will also be, written email will also be in the record. Peter, I respectfully request the hearing on the above referenced matter be continued to the April hearing date. I understand my analysis on findings did not make it to you for some unknown reason. We attempted to, and I can't quite see if there's another word to, on Monday. My office in Northborough was closed due to the storm, and I have no access here at home to that file. George Connors and Peter issued a reply, which I can't read other than thank you for the update. So the applicant, and that is all that it said. The applicant has requested a continuance to our April hearing date and not our March 28th hearing date. And that would be to April 11th. I believe that's correct, isn't it, Peter?
That's correct.
Okay. Any discussion amongst the board members on this? We routinely grant requests for a continuance when asked by the applicant, and in this instance, we did not receive the documents that we were hoping to receive from him concerning legal analysis. Would someone wish to make a motion to continue the hearing till Tuesday, April 11th at 7 p.m.?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
I, John DeFeatherman, vote in favor.
I, Brian Forrest, I'll vote in favor.
I, Nathan Band, vote in favor.
I, Stuart Siegel, vote in favor.
I, Anton Komarov, vote in favor.
Very good. Then this matter is continued to Tuesday, April 11th at 7 p.m. And thank you, everybody, and those that participated or are participating in the meeting. Going on to the next item on the agenda, we have listed a discussion with two people who had expressed interest in possibly becoming associate members of the ZBA, Sunitha Kara and Stephen Morgan. I see Mr. Morgan's name here. He is on mute. And I don't see Sunitha, although there is an iPhone with a hand up. So Sunitha, is that you? Well, there's an iPhone, and I know
Mr. Rodenheiser
Mr.
said,
Rodenheiser was on an iPhone, but he's muted and his hand is up, so I don't quite know what. Mr. Rodenheiser, if you wish to say something, you need to unmute yourself and do it now before we move on to the next item on the agenda.
okay,
Going once, going twice.
gone.
Okay, let's move on.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. I didn't even mean to do that. I was trying to hang up. I apologize. Have a wonderful night. I'm sorry. Very sorry.
That's okay.
I
Have a
couldn't
good
even
evening,
figure
sir.
out how to
Thank
put my
you.
hand down. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Bill.
The benefits of Zoom meetings. Okay. Well, as I said, we had two candidates or two people who had expressed interest. Both were invited to be here at the meeting tonight to talk about the position and their interest. And one of them I see here, Mr. Morgan, and I don't see anyone else. I don't believe Sunitha is here. I do know that at our last meeting, we had talked with her and invited her to our next meeting, but she's not here, so we will go to Mr. Morgan. Welcome, Mr. Morgan. May I call you Steve? Oops, you're muted.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Getting off of mute here. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with Steve.
Okay, I mean, I like to maintain a certain level of formality with people appearing before us, but
Understood.
we know you're well known at ZBA meetings, having attended many as an observer and participant. So that is fine.
Sure. So
I mean, we have distributed your talent bank form to all the board members to review, and perhaps you could tell us a little bit about your interest in becoming an associate member of the ZBA.
Sure. So I have for some years followed this board and a few other boards in town. I had previously submitted talent bank forms that the town hadn't forwarded. I understand now under the current procedure, they are forwarding the forms out. So it's appreciated to get the opportunity to join you tonight and to speak. I do have interest in, planning topics and development topics, including historical. Here, I understand this is the ZBA, and I understand the role of the ZBA under the current planning code to be looking into some of these requests for variances and other special treatments coming out of the planning board. I have a background. I'm an engineer, a degree from WPI in mechanical engineering in particular. I've been working throughout my career in primarily automation and manufacturing and IT sciences. I do also occasionally do buildings and facilities type projects in my experience. I, again, have a pretty extensive background. Some people may know me for some of my research I've done with regard to the open meeting law and the town meeting. I have a strong belief in the town process, and that folks be informed and understand what's happening in town government. So this role was one of the roles I checked off on my recent form. Had been a prior interest. What prompted me to fill out a new form was the new planning committee that one of the planning board's members made me aware of for the in the town for District 1. I happen to be in District 1. And as you see, I also check that box on the form. So here tonight to talk about the ZBA, and be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, well, the process has been in recent years that the select board has asked potential candidates after they fill out a talent bank form to attend several meetings. I know this is your second formal meeting, but you've obviously attended many more than that, so you certainly understand how the ZBA functions. And then for the present members of the ZBA to pass the matter along to the select board, who are the ultimate appointing authority. At the time that you had originally submitted the talent bank form back on, I believe it was February 17th, there were 2 openings for an associate member. One of those has been filled, or I should say will be filled tomorrow. The appointment of Ryan Sullivan as an associate member is on the select board's consent agenda for approval yesterday, which means that there is 1 remaining opening. So if you would like to be considered for that, we will be glad to pursue the interview such as it is tonight and forward things along.
Yeah, certainly I would be interested, and I can't speak for how the selectmen will or will not view the recommendation of this board, but I understand there is a process here, and I'm open to commit the time and to do the research necessary to be constructive on the board. So
okay, thank you. Board members, anyone have any questions for Steve?
I don't have any.
Nathan?
No, I feel like we were getting a little lawyer heavy, so it's nice to see some
I'm sorry?
non-lawyers looking to join the. So no, I felt like we were getting a little bit lawyer heavy, so it's nice to see some non-lawyers looking to join the board.
I don't know. Mr. Morgan sometimes plays a lawyer on TV, though, doesn't he? I don't know. It's okay.
I don't know. I had one of my colleagues joke that my face looked a little familiar on recent TV, but
Okay.
I'm a non-lawyer. I do take it as a
Right.
hobby to do
Yeah,
research.
and I was
yeah.
joking. Okay, Stu, do you have any questions for Steve?
No, sir.
And Anton, any questions?
I got nothing.
Okay. Steve, I just have a couple questions under your description about prior training and experience. You mentioned that you were a business owner experienced in commercial real estate operations.
Sure.
Is that something that you do presently, or was that just something in the past?
No, in the past, I owned a small office park with 4 units of property over off of Route 9. I'm not currently engaged in that business.
But there's not, okay, fine. So,
My S Corp had owned a small office park in Southborough probably about 15 years ago. Currently not involved with real estate in any way other than my home.
okay. And as far as
And
prior,
working- And just as an update, I'm also working now as a full-time senior project manager for Takeda Pharmaceuticals, as opposed to my own small business, which I've run for a number of years, known as Tacnic Inc. So currently a full-time FTE in the pharmaceutical industry, running projects for the Capital Projects Group.
Very good. And as far as past government and community volunteer experience, you mentioned your ongoing oversight for the open meeting law and also on the prior Capital Committee. What was your position on the Capital Committee?
Yeah. So if you go back about 8 years ago, I was appointed to the Capital Committee as a member of that committee. Was on the committee for several years until the town determined to end the Capital Committee. I think, as most folks in town are aware, the town manager sort of runs the capital program now, despite the town having a bylaw for capital. The select board have chosen not to appoint any members and not to follow the bylaws. So it's a little disappointing as a member of town meeting, but that is, an 8-year-old past history. We did support having a good capital program. And that's actually where I became interested in the open meeting law, because we were seeing violations in the Capital Committee. I get good 8 to 10 years ago now. I forget the exact timing, but I know Mr. DeSoni's on. He probably remembers some of that. He's been around a long time. So that's all.
Mr. DeSoni is a regular attendee at our meetings.
Well, so that I view that as kind of pretty old news at this point, although I do continue to keep an eye on town government in general and participate.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else have any other questions? If not, someone wish to make a motion about moving Mr. Morgan's application on for consideration to the select board.
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? I, John Trefethan, vote in favor.
Hi, Brian Forrestall, vote in favor.
I, Nathan Band, vote in favor.
I, Stuart Siegel, vote in favor.
I, Anton Takamara, vote in favor.
Very good. Steve, the process is I will send an email to Susan Roby, the select board secretary, informing them of the decision tonight and your appearance and interest, and you will then hear from them. I will copy you on that email so you see what the process is as it goes forward.
Sure. Well, I thank the board for your support. If that concludes the agenda for tonight, I did want to get over to the Historic Commission regarding the Main Street building project. I thank you for your consideration.
That certainly concludes your part of the portion of the agenda. We've got minutes and some other things to discuss, but your part is completed. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is item number 4 on the agenda. Meeting minutes for our February 28th, 2023 meeting. Some of us were chatting before the meeting officially started about the minutes that were sent out yesterday and how detailed they were. And we were and I gave credit to the wrong person for providing such detailed minutes, but having received those, does anyone have any questions or proposed changes about the minutes?
I'm good with the minutes.
Okay, somebody wish to make a motion to approve the?
Sorry, John, I've got one thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
So my notes on the meeting, and I may have just missed this in the minutes, but my notes on the meeting have one of the public comments mentioning that there were pre-existing tenants in like 2017. And since that seems to be really the crux of the issue, I would like to see that comment reflected in the minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking to see who would have where that would have come up.
Yeah, and I apologize. My notes on the meeting were not.
No, but
detailed
it's an
enough to include
important,
who made-
it's an important point. And I think we need to make sure that if in fact it was said, and I don't dispute your notes, that it is included in the minutes. And if it's not, if it wasn't said, or was said in some different manner, then we ought to make that clear as well. Might I suggest that we table the approval of the minutes until our next meeting, and in the meantime, staff, Peter, or all of us can review the tape of the meeting and see what information we can uncover on that.
I move we table discussion of the minutes till the next meeting.
Okay, and that would be April 11th. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye, John Trefethan, vote in favor.
I, Brian Forrest, I'll vote in favor.
I, Nathan Band, vote in favor.
I, Stuart Siegel, vote in favor.
I, Anton Takamara, vote in favor.
Very good. Then these will be tabled until February 20, till the February 28th. Minutes will be tabled until April 11th. Last item on the agenda are staff updates and administrative matters. Peter, anything to report on that?
Yeah, I'll just give everyone the heads up that the Zoom meeting that we're on, the use of this platform for meetings is up for expiration at the end of this month. So I don't know if I think I told everybody at the last meeting, but there's been some newspaper articles going around. To my knowledge, there's been a bill filed with the state legislature to extend the use of a Zoom platform and or other platforms out for public meetings for 2 more years. However, that bill is tied in with the governor's, to my knowledge, it is tied in with the governor's budget package and or budget proposal. So with that said, I do expect this use of Zoom to be continued out. However, I'll get more information on it by the end of the month. With that said, in April, if that does not get extended, we will be going to need to go back into in-person meetings, which I know a lot of you or a few of you have not been part of. However, I know John, Brian, and Stu do remember the good old days of meeting in the select board here in the town hall. I do also want to make a note that the planning board has decided to go and or start to talk about doing a hybrid meeting, such as the select board do. And so that's the route and or avenue they're going to take. However, I kind of want to give everyone the heads up that should be on your radar as things move forward. I am sure there's going to be a lot to come in the next 2 weeks and or information published regarding the extension. However, right now, everybody's in kind of a wait and see pattern.
Okay. Peter, reading in the paper that the governor had submitted a supplemental budget, which was approved by the House and the Senate. And there has to be a conference committee, I guess, and then goes to the governor. Is that the budget that this is attached to?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, well, we will meet someplace and in some form.
With form, I believe with confidence that we can use this Zoom platform. And if it's up to the board to continue to use this, then it will be perfectly appropriate. But
Okay,
like you said, we'll meet somewhere, someplace.
very good. Anyone have anything else before we adjourn? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn then?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
Okay, I, John Trefethan, vote in favor.
I, Brian Forrest, I'll vote in favor.
I, Nathan Band, vote in favor.
I, Stuart Siegel, vote in favor.
I, Anton Takamaro, vote in favor.
Very good. WACA, thank you very much, and good night, everybody.
Night.
Night.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.